Hey, everybody, welcome to Noir Bar. Come on in, take a seat. And you can take a seat on Stooley. Stooley's back. And joining me at the bar, as always, is FarZoosme. Far, how you doing?
I'm alright. It's the middle of the day. It's really weird.
Well, not when you travel back to 1942. It's 1 a.m. It's 1:21 a.m. here. So, cast your mind back. And
But it's so hard when I look outside and it's just bright outside.
close your blinds.
No, they're dusty.
No, they're dusty. And joining us for the first time at Noir Bar is Weebo Jones. Weebs, how the hell are you?
Hold your applause. Hold your applause. Yes, I'm here.
Woohoo! Well, there's no applause here. This is a chill bar environment. It's late night jazz. God damn it, the band hasn't started playing. Lazy fuckers. Here.
Wah, wah.
There we go. It's interesting. I gotta call them lazy fuckers before what they do what they're paid for. Just anyone in 1942.
You pay people to do stuff?
Right?
No, when you're me, they just do it.
What I do is I buy liquor in 1942, bring it back with me to 2020, and sell it for like an incredibly inflated price, so I can afford to pay the band. But unfortunately, it leaves me no money left over to buy, a better computer.
Wah, wah.
Nah. Thus is the cross I carry. To see who's all here. Cynic is here. Mr. Moo. Mada's here. Sibian. Unholy Reaper. Hey, Reaper. Four Roses as always, Polly. No problem. Man, speaking of Four Roses, I was at a liquor store the other day, right? And as per usual, I'm perusing the bourbon section. I like looking at the Scotch section, and, my heart of hearts, I think, falls with Scotch. But bourbon, because it's less pretentious, it has less morons who consider themselves whiskey experts orbiting around it.
I am drunk. So
You
drunk.
can easily make
I
it
cannot
in your
get up.
backyard.
Really quick. Thank you. This is Kyle for the $2 tip. Hello, chat people, Far and Polly. And I'm sure this is Kyle. Didn't mean to leave you out either, Weebs.
Well, maybe it was just one of those things. I need a separate welcome.
Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Unholy
Hey,
Reaper asked,
everybody.
did I change the alerts over from comic book curation this time? Yes, I did. That's why that pop-up was Ava Green toasting you. Well, the line from Bret Easton Ellis's audio book for his second book, The Rules of Attraction. I am drunk. I am so drunk I cannot stand up happens. That's Lauren talking. Have you read that book yet, Weebo?
No, I have not. I've been busy with my senior project and finding a job. All the other little things that I gotta get done.
I've offered...
But I made progress today,
towards reading the book?
Headway. No. Towards finishing my project. So I anticipate having some more free time in the near to soon future. Hopefully, she said, knowing full well that would not be the case.
I got an extension on a research project too today, like a contract one, but no extra money. And it's really only because that guy has an extension on when he needs it for. So I'm talking to him on the phone, and never do they want to put anything in writing that's going to be, that they can be pinned down to. This is not all professors. This is just like the foul 15% of them. And so I'm talking to him on the phone, and he says, so generously, the magnanimity was just leaking through my headset. He's like, oh, hey, you can just go ahead and take an extra 3 weeks. That's fine. Anytime in the first week of next month will be great. It's like, did you neglect to remember that you had already told me that you had an extension to that exact same time? Oh, thank you very much, Unholy Reaper. For the rent, with a fantastically generous $50 tip, greatly appreciated. Unholy Reaper rocks. Which reminds me, we were talking about Four Roses. So I'm at the liquor store. Floating around in front of the bourbons. And I saw a Four Roses single barrel. And I was like... And I went and bought cheap local whiskey.
Just like your teeth.
Like,
amount of.
Old Overholt. It's like the low-down bourbon, man. It's so thin. Like, a good, rich bourbon is like... It's an oak bomb. I like calling it. You can taste the caramel. The oak is just crazy. It's got little spice flavors in the background. It's got this thick mouthfeel to it. Fantastic. Good. And if it's cast strength, you get that nice heat off of it because it's overproof, natural cast strength. Oh man, And to be staring at bottles that are like that and picking up something that's just some standard 40 ABV regular run of the mill. Oh man. Well, you do what you gotta do. Anyway. Am I
moving on from alcoholism?
These are my lamentations of libations. Wow. That was good.
I wish I loved some sort of liquid as much as Polly loves his liquids.
Mm. Can we just appreciate the lamentations of libations for a second? I'm tired and drinking.
Alliteration. Oh my gosh, you're so great. Polly, whatever shall we do?
What do you mean? Shower me, regale me with compliments. That's what you should do. So anyway, I'm drinking coffee with eggnog and the cheap bourbon that I mentioned previously. Now you might ask where I got eggnog.
Yeah, where did you get eggnog from?
From my freezer. Because what did I do at the end of December?
You froze it. I remember this.
I bought extra and froze it. Fuck yeah.
That is brilliant.
I read about it.
Can you ship eggnog? I'm curious. Because I might just give you my direct home address right now. And then $50 on top for a little bit of nog, man. You don't understand. Alright, you want to talk about lamentations? I got lamentations up the wazoo.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Chat isn't running. Why didn't somebody tell me?
Chat's not running, probably.
God damn it, Weebo. Okay. Try that again.
Oh, better late than never. Right?
I got you, man. That's what I'm here for, bro.
Oh, and Mannix here. Wonderful. I didn't even know Mannix was here. With the fantastically generous $50 tip. Hi, Polly Weebo. By far shirt. Shit. Excuse me. By far shit. Which happens to be shirt, so it works out.
Yeah.
That is extremely generous. And Bar's link, yeah, your merch store's in the description, right?
I think it is. Unless you Yeah, no, it is.
Cool. No, I didn't kick you out of there. Is the
Oh, you care.
is the Christmas? That's just laziness. I just didn't change it. Is the Christmas edition of the Pocket Fetus still there?
I don't think so. I think I took that down.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say it's so out of season.
Yeah, no, I think I took it down.
You know, it's.
I think.
And speaking of booze, Unholy Reaper mentions drinking Irish coffee. Did I tell? Who was I talking to about this the other day? I drink, so I forget. I was telling somebody online, it wasn't IRL, that I was looking up how to make Irish cream online, like from scratch. Don't try it. Is the short? No. Have you ever been to cooking sites? Do you go to cooking sites?
All the time.
Do you?
I have to find paleo recipes because my stepmom, who I'm living with now, basically like full time, she only eats paleo, basically, which means no sugar, no white flour. It's horrible. My muffins don't rise correctly.
Okay. Excuse me. You know how on cooking sites it'll always say like most helpful comment, least helpful comment, right? And the Mr. Scott, thank you for the donation, the $1 tip. Where is my pocket otter far? Don't make a pocket otter far.
What would a pocket otter entail?
It would basically be like the pocket fetus, but with like the cute face and the whiskers that you put on your otters. That's what came to mind anyway. No. You keep you wrangle that imagination back to where it came from. I don't want to see.
No, I don't think I will.
God damn it. That's gonna be creepy. Don't do it. See,
I do what I want.
Mannix is pocket fetus for the win. You know what I went looking for the other day was that original advertisement for the pocket fetus. It's new. Wow. Fits in your pocket. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I usually keep a copy of most of your shitpost stuff, but I didn't. And then Gokato. Hey, Gokato. I haven't talked to him in a minute. I didn't know this was on. Yeah, I fully and completely expect YouTube to drop the ball on notifications lately. It's terrible. Weebo, have you noticed this?
Kind of a little bit, except with my most recent video, it seems like YouTube has decided that it likes me again. So, not as much. Maybe, I don't know. Question mark?
Well, it's funny that you bring up videos on YouTube, because I want to talk about that, but right before we get into that. So, cooking sites. You scroll down a little bit, whether it be Yumly, allrecipes.com, wherever you go. The most helpful comment is like, this is the greatest recipe ever. It was so tasty. I loved it. Now read on to the ways I completely changed this recipe. Always the top comment. And it's like, but did you actually like the recipe? Because you didn't really leave much of any of it the same. It's like, I left this out. I added twice as much as this. And then I used margarine instead of butter, etc.
Oh, okay. So, like, they used substitutes instead of what the actual recipe calls for.
Yeah, well, they use substitutes and okay, so the Irish cream, right? The recipes varied, but mostly it was Irish whiskey combined with, or some type of rye, but mostly claiming, you need to use Irish whiskey because it's Irish cream. And then full-on cream and almond extract and vanilla extract, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's advice is how to get around the curdling problem. Because if you pour anything that's, I don't know, I'm guessing about 20% alcohol into full-on cream or milk, it's going to curdle immediately, like turn into chunks of fat,
Yeah.
Right. Like if you put an acid in it, you just squeeze lemon juice into milk. Don't do that.
It'd be a bad time.
Yeah, it'll be a bad time. So all these descriptions of how to get away from it, and I don't know. Unholy Reaper's comment just made me think about that as like an Irish coffee, which you can put Irish cream in. After I was reading the recipes for about 20 minutes, I started thinking, oh, how can I do this? And everyone says, don't use the almond extract, and you can get away with whole milk. You don't need to use cream. I ended up just thinking, fuck it. I'm going to make a White Russian. This isn't worth it. Vodka, coffee liqueur, milk. You're done. You ever had a White Russian? Either one of you?
No.
Yes, I have actually. I can't remember who made it for me, but it was really good. From what I remember.
It was, yeah, they're really good. They're really good. And since I brought up White Russians, I know somebody's thinking of the Great Lebowski. Big Lebowski. Big Lebowski.
The Great Lebowski. I mean, you're not wrong.
Are you a big fan of that movie?
Actually, funny story. I had to watch it for a film class in college, and I got ordained as a minister in Judaism as a result because I had to give a presentation.
Sure.
So, logically, that's what one does when one has to give a presentation, is they get ordained as a minister. Anyway, a few years later, I watched it with my grandmother, and she absolutely hated it, and I loved the movie just because she hated it so much. So, I don't know. Yes, I do love it.
Huh. God damn it, 6. That stool isn't burning. It's just sitting. I went through great pains to make. Never mind.
I'm never satisfied.
People really like yanking my chain on that fucking stool, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. See, okay, I hadn't seen that movie forever and ever until my cousin said to me one time. I asked him, should I watch that? Fuck, I've heard of that movie forever. And he goes, do you know what it comes down to? That movie's just memorable because it's highly quotable. There's a bunch of vignette scenes in it that are extremely memorable. It's comedic because of how quirky it is. So it's worth watching, if only to get your head around all the highly quotable stuff. And that was a good mindset to go into it with. Because if I was told this is a comedy film, it would have been like not as bad as Van Wilder. One time I was made to watch that. Fuck, you ever seen that?
No.
Those college comedy films, gross out comedies. They're fucking stupid. I was made to watch Pineapple Express one time. The movie was dumb.
I think I've seen that before. I think
Fucking
my dad
weed
had me
comedy.
watch it right before I went off to college or something. Wait, no, that was Animal House.
I'm not trying to knock anyone's taste. I'm going to in a minute, but on this subject, I don't mean to knock anyone's taste. It's just, for me, comedy is that kind. I mean, don't get me wrong, I dig comedies, but I'm more into, I don't know. Let me think. Airplane, anything Zucker Abrams style comedy. It's not like Naked Gun, etc. Police Squad. Thank you, Mr. Scott, for the tip. 1990s Pog style commercial. We have your pocket otters, pocket satsus, pocket scribes, pocket ranting monkeys. Gotta collect them all to get the extreme. Available as long as supplies last. $9.99 shipping and handling.
Oh,
And
boy.
you forgot no COD, but that's cool. Thank you, Mr. Scott. We were watching commercials from the 70s the other day, Weebs. You know, in Australia, they actually allowed COD delivery on, like, records and shit.
What's this? I don't know anything about.
No,
you
wasn't
just
that the
said.
knives?
Oh, the knives. Okay, yeah, steak
Yeah, I
knives.
thought that was like the
Oh, yeah, it was the
knives that
Gin-
they kept going like,
It was the
but wait, there's more knives.
Yeah, the Ginsu knives. Yeah.
I still don't know what's going on. What's going on?
Okay, COD. I had to look it up myself. Cash on delivery. It means you don't pay for it with a credit card, or you don't send them a check or a money order or anything like that. When they arrive at your door is when you pay for them.
Oh. Oh.
Doesn't that sound
you
like?
mean like
Doesn't that
you
sound like a
mean like-
recipe for disaster?
a little bit? I feel like people could easily rob the people it is that they're buying the goods from, right? Just like send them to a random location.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why that's not a thing anymore here. Country
Sounds-
of criminals?
Sounds a little bit sketch. I don't know, man.
I look down at
Might be going the way of the, yeah, if your Macca's isn't out in 5 minutes, you get it free.
Hmm.
I just looked down and I saw Adonis Bartolti. Ahoy, Polly. I'm a carpenter and I'm about to start making some pipes. Wouldn't that make you a plumber? What designs would you like? And would you like to see? Oh, you mean, I get what you're saying. Like smoking pipes. Duh. Okay. You're going to be turning some pipes. That's cool. I was watching a video on turning pipes on a lathe the other day. Hand carving. Like you can buy, what's the wood? Briar wood. Stock pipes that are just a big square, but they have the bowl cut out of them at the center and then the basic stem shape put onto them. And then you can shape them to whatever you want. And I'm sitting there thinking, I have woodworking tools. I don't have a lathe, but I have files and rasps and chisels and other a fuck ton of different sandpaper grits and so forth. Yeah, man. Can you imagine making your own church warden pipes so I could sit back? Like, sure, AP made fun of them on his fucking Scooby stream. You're sitting back with your Gandalf pipe. I'll have you know that people were smoking church warden pipes a long time before Gandalf was even created. Just kidding, I love you, AP. The last thing I want is AP making a video on me. Holy fuck. You know what? Let's all see if we can mentally summon AP to 1942. Adonis Paul. Adonis Paul. If you
I think I'm good.
I could message him.
Well, see, I'd like him to see this stream because he's got his big fancy NASA computer and his whole animated setup, which I'm a little bit jealous of.
Really?
Haven't you ever seen the Blunt stream? It's fucking nuts. He takes what I'm doing here to the nth degree, and I'm watching it going, how do I get like this? I want Noir Bar like this. Like and clearly he's got like a sound pad all set up and different key things. He's got his animated Adonis Paul figure that can suddenly rip off his shirt to show his flexing chest, and Destination Unknown starts playing. You've got to watch it, Weebs. It's fucking hilarious. And like, yeah, come by my channel and see what can be accomplished with a laptop. You and your fancy NASA computer, motherfucker, you.
Sounds jealous, doesn't he, father?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, see, that's also a kind of a condemnation of you, Weebo.
How so?
You may not have a NASA
computer, as you like to put it.
Well, you don't have a full-on NASA computer, but you got a pretty fancy computer. And yet, what does cocktail hour look like? Couple of fucking avatars on the screen. You don't have a band. Yes. You don't have a fireplace. You don't have a bar.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that we were supposed to make it a whole ass thing. Not just like a half-ass thing.
Oh, what? At least you put up a background. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No, you don't. I forgot.
I put up a background. Holly, why are you being so mean to me? I thought we were friends.
I've been drinking. It's all in jest.
If you just drink, you're not friends anymore.
I see how it is.
That's what's going on.
It's all in jest. Yeah, Mr. Scott says, I love the Adonis Paul dancers. For Christ's sake, Weebs, he has dancers. You can hit a button and the dancers come out and start doing things. And like, oh, man.
Holly, I got other stuff to do, man. I can't make dancers. Why don't you make the dancers if you want dancers so badly?
Yo. Hold up. I have seen not only your videos, I've seen your video production in the sense of screen captures of your Adobe Premiere screens. You have more than enough technical prowess to be able to pull it off.
I know, I do. You're right. I hate that you're right. But I'm gonna still stand by this whole I don't have the time to do the thing with the stuff.
Oh, that's fine. Why don't we get off of Weebo's ass, so to speak? No one read into that. Let's talk about a video that I watched before, in the distant far future of 2020. There are videos on this device called YouTube. On this network called YouTube.
What is this YouTube?
Impossible.
Think of it like a television station, but gone right to hell. Fair enough? Okay.
I guess?
What is this? YouTube.
I got you. All right.
It was a collaboration between Omegon and Irate Alex on, this fucker here. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the mixed feelings that I get when content creators I really like do something on a topic that I can't fucking stand. It leaves me feeling weird. Okay, there we go. You guys can see it. And just back and take a look. See, I can't do things fast like AP either, man. Fuck that guy. There we go. Look at that. There he is. Social Repose. This fucking guy. I mean, this is the essence of edgy boy cringe, this man. If you could, what is he even trying to do with the black feathered headdress and the black eyelids? The funniest part of that video is that Irate Alex dresses up as his version of Social Repose, the costume, the character. With he gets a fucking wig. I don't know where the fuck he had white clown grease paint makeup. Like maybe Vanilla Bear has it. I don't know why though. And he covers it over his whole face. And he's got the black lipstick on the whole 9 yards. Holy fuck, is it funny? And at one point in the video, he just goes, "I can't take it!" And he tears the wig off and pulls off the gloves and everything and starts wiping his face off. He's like, how does he wear this shit? Oh yeah, so edgy. Hello, are you two still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have strong opinions on this jackass like I do?
I think he's a dick, but I don't know. I wouldn't really give him much more than not even the time of day at this point. Like,
I mean, look at this guy. So much edge.
Well, like I was saying, he's not really relevant anymore, is he?
I don't know anyone that actually likes his stuff.
Well, no,
here's the thing. Any capacity.
They did a really good job, both of them, both Megan and Alex, on here's where he started 2014 or 2015, got really big in 2016, his music career, and they went the good, the bad, the ugly as Omegon does, where it's like it's not entirely pissing on the guy, he's just talking about him in general. I just find it funny when it's like, okay, you know what? I've made it 2/3 of the way through this video. I'm going to have to pause it and go away. Not because, this is hours and hours ago that I was watching this. I didn't have to start the stream or get ready for it right away. It's just, I just can't take listening about this guy anymore. And here's where I start knocking other people's taste. Sorry if you disagree with this. But him and his fucking annoying ex-wife, fucking, what's her name there?
Ex-wife.
Jacqueline Glenn.
Ex-girlfriend, I think you only.
No, they were
married. They were not married.
No, they were married according to that video. I didn't know they were either, but according to the video, yeah. Well, they got married at the fucking in Las Vegas, according to the video.
They did not get married.
I don't know what to tell you. That's what they said.
They didn't get married.
I watched that same video and I must have missed that.
Because, okay, here's the thing. I remember their breakup and everything about it. He was always the ex-boyfriend, not the ex-husband.
Yeah.
He has been married before, but she was never married to Social Repose.
Okay, well, the particular marital status of this black-eyed freak isn't really I'm willing to
All right.
concede the point. I must have misunderstood. Fine. Long-time cohabitants, whatever. Look at them.
Maybe they were
I just
common law married?
look. He's got metal wings, chat. It's like they move. They're like on like little robotic things. When he pushes a button, they like come up like, oh my god. This guy's like
I mean, that's kind of cool, but at the same time,
for a cosplayer pretending to be a superhero, not for some fucking loser pretending to be cosplaying someone's fucking nightmare. And to dress like that all the fucking time? And I'm gonna go out on stage and dance around. You know this guy reminds me of Far? Guess.
who?
Davi Vanity from Blood on the Dance Floor.
Oh god.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, the child molester person dude?
That's the one. Now, I'm not trying to say that this guy's a child molester like Davi Vanity is. I mean, he maybe is. I don't know. But it's more of the edgy boy thing combined with the fake-ass metal and I don't know. I'm not a fan of heavy metal, so I can't really comment on the quality of the music. Alex is a fan of metal, and he says it's very good, or fairly good. So I'll concede the point. He's the one who knows the musical genre better than I do. But, Jesus Christ, this fucking guy. And having to listen to Jacqueline Glenn. Okay, Omegon, the first time he mentions Jacqueline Glenn. And all right, I'm going to get on a little bit of a rant here, but I'll keep it short.
Oh, angry ex-girlfriend feminist rant?
Atheism.
Oh.
Angry.
Sorry, yes.
Omegon
And
he was now dating YouTube atheist Jacqueline Glenn. When that is the most that you can say for yourself, you are a pretty shit content creator. I mean, I suck at fucking YouTube. I talk about comic books. I do Noir Bar streams where we're in the 1942 and it's a noir themed jazzy blues playing in the background. We talk about all kinds of stuff and avoid politics and generally drama. Now, this might count as drama, but I don't know these people. So I say, hey, yo, you suck. This is barroom discussion. I got my drink on and just Jacqueline Glenn. I don't understand. Someone's got to point me to a video where she does something other than repeat standard lines about cringy Christianity. I mean, if that's all you got, there's 100 fucking people doing it better than you. And in 2016.
I got this. Her most recent video was literally just talking about recovering from being in a relationship with this asshole. So that's different. It's very different.
I will. So she moved on from angry ex-girlfriend atheism to simply angry ex-girlfriend. Is that right?
No, okay, so the story was, remember, he cheated on her, and so she's recovering from the trust issues that come with being cheated on, right? So, that was the whole point of the video, not so much, oh, he cheated on me, because that was months ago, like, what, a year and a half ago? But she was talking about how she was recovering from having her heart broken in such a debilitating mentally way, which is different, I think.
You know what?
Her defense.
I would say, okay, that is different, and I'm happy to say that her sadness over it, because I saw the video clips and how many videos she put up when it first happened, and this cheating son of a bitch cheated on her and did so in a way that it was public and so on. That sucks. Because I think that militant atheism online is a pretty goddamn fucking poor excuse for content. Doesn't mean that I wish anybody suffering or pain or emotional turmoil. No. I just want you to... she can play music. Apparently she helped them, according to Omegon and Alex's video, create half the stuff that you were seeing in the videos when they were working together. So clearly she's a creative person and can write as well. Do better, is my point. You have to be able to come up with something better than embitterment over something that you no longer practice.
Yeah. And I think that she's doing very well in that. Because I do watch her content. So it's not all just atheist stuff. I mean, certainly she is reacting to Paul and Morgan content every once in a while, but on top of that, there are more things to talk about.
What content? Who, Morgan?
Oh, they're a religious couple that are super cringy.
Okay.
He disagrees with. So in that respect, yeah, I guess I could see that.
Yeah, you shouldn't watch those people either.
Well, yeah. Just stay away from religious YouTube.
What, religious and anti-religious YouTube?
Just anything to do with anything religious.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
You don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
What makes you think it's negativity? Lots of people find it fulfilling.
Just like you don't need politics. That's negativity too.
Well, that is true. But that's also what I do for a living, which is possibly why I'm such an embittered man. I don't know.
Possibly.
Let's set it back here.
Possibly.
Well, whatever. Just scrolling back here a little bit, where... God damn it, I can't find it. It's like, somebody said, Polly, he tours the States. When was the last time you toured the States? Yeah, you know who else? I've been to a whole bunch of different states. Have I ever toured them so people can see me perform? No. Been to a whole bunch of academic conferences. I guess that's a kind of performance when you're doing presentations there. But anyway, you know who else tours the States that thousands of people show up to listen to? Kim Kardashian. Does that mean I have to like Kim Kardashian's, full air quotes here, content? No. Individually, the fact that people show up and that they're procuring money off of it doesn't mean that what they're doing is something that I should be happy for them for doing. Kim Kardashian doesn't produce anything. She's just kind of there. And she's been in music videos, and she's helped Kanye create video content, so therefore she's creative. I don't know. I don't see that as a reason to say that she's awesome. That's me, though. Speaking of things that don't affect my life that I still get angry at. Let's talk about celebrity designer pivoting to pop star worthy face masks for a cause.
I was wondering what they were gonna.
Let's do it.
It's been up on our screen for a while.
Yeah. No, it hasn't. You just saw it now for the first time, just like chat did.
No.
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 No. Okay.
Don't lie to yourself.
I'm not lying to myself. I'm lying to you. All right.
Oh shit! That's even doubly so. Don't fucking lie to me.
The accessories are available on his, Michael Nyo's, website at the prices ranging from $45 to $500, with 100% of the net proceeds going to the Los Angeles Food Bank. I'm like, okay, this is a good thing.
I'm sorry. What the fuck? What were those prices again?
$45 to $500 each.
You guys think I should release a designer face mask for?
Let me tell you the blunt.
Yeah,
Let me tell you the blunt truth of it. Do you look like? Where is he? God damn it! His picture was up here before.
Who?
Michael Nyo. His picture was right here. How come it didn't load this time? There he is. Look at this asshole.
Where?
On your screen.
Oh. Yeah, I could pull that off.
Yeah.
Douchebag.
Can you look like this fucking douchebag? Because if you can,
I can pull off douchebag just as well as any other douchebag. It's not that hard. All right, there is no skill in that look.
Probably not. No. This I in a way like the way this guy looks because it's such an obvious. I'm a fashion designer. You know what I mean?
How much that jacket cost?
Oh, I'd be willing to bet, a few thousand, 5,000 maybe. Yeah. My name's Michael Nyo, and because no one is going to the Rodeo Drive, etc., Fifth Avenue stores that stock my overpriced crap, I need to stay relevant. So what's going on right now in terms of things that people wear? Oh, face masks. Okay, celebrity face masks, and I'll donate them to charity. Why are the screens loading so slow? See? Woes of the potato. So it's like, oh, look, it's a purple shiny one based on Ariana Grande's look, whatever you want to call it. Oh, man.
Grande latte? I don't know.
Yes. I think, oh, well, he's donating it to charity. He ain't got nothing else to do. It's like, I'm at my favorite online rag for trash news to make fun of. The New York Post. And that's where this is, over at the New York Post. And so, of course, this is here.
Style.
It's absolutely full of celebrities doing stuff, supposedly for charity or just to be... No, it's like, they're on the gram reading stories to children. It's so they can stay relevant. They're dying without the accolades and the notice and the eyes on them. There's no red carpet events to go to. There's no parties to go hang out at with other celebrities so you can talk about how you know how people should run their lives better than them because you stand in front of a camera and read lines you didn't write. Hello,
Yeah, hello.
ladies.
Yes.
I'm
I don't know
looking
that.
Hang on, I'm looking at this mask, right? And I am not satisfied that because it's not the right color scheme, right? So the purples don't match.
Jesus.
Oh my
Christ.
god, you're even more.
Is that what you're looking at?
You know, I'm paying attention to that, and I'm the artist. Holy fuck!
Do you see that?
It's purple
Look at
shiny.
that.
It's purple shiny with rivets. What do you care about the color
Look,
scheme? I don't get it.
It looks more pink than the purple in the picture,
Well,
though.
here's
is
the thing: that could be lighting. You know, I mean, for all you know, like the costume he's wearing could be that color, but it's like the same lighting conditions. But yeah, it really doesn't match in the way they've shown it here.
No, it doesn't, and they could do so much better. Photoshop exists for a reason, ladies and gentlemen, alright? And Polly has exploited its use for many moons now, so you would know all about this. I'm surprised that you weren't looking at that as that.
What? That the colors didn't match?
Yeah.
I
Did you
really
notice?
well no. What I did notice in looking at Grande Latte here is that she could
Yes,
like-
grande
I like
latte.
just look.
I
Look,
like how it's spread.
just look at her
I'm a
face. Look,
trendsetter.
look at her face for a second. Look at the dead
Mm-hmm.
eyes. Look at the doll eyes. She could be a mannequin. Just picture her as a mannequin. That could be a mannequin.
Are we sure she's not?
She could
But
be a very
doesn't-
clever robot of Japanese design. I mean, they're getting pretty advanced.
Maybe. I don't know.
That would explain how she went from a white girl to being a Hispanic princess here in the intervening years between the time that she was on Disney Channel or whatever the fuck. You ever see a picture of her back in the day? She's more
Yes!
she's
Oh
more
my
pale than you,
God.
weebs.
Hey, I'm not that pale.
I meant it in a complimentary sense, alabaster skin and so forth.
I don't have alabaster skin.
Okay, but you're not like whatever she is now.
Are you
Mocha?
confusing your female co-host, Polly?
I said went for the alabaster compliment and she denied it. Okay, that's not my fault.
I'm not that pale.
But I am, so.
but I am.
And I live in the worst country for it.
Wah, wah.
Hold on. So I know that many of you enjoy a cigarette with your drink, like I do.
Okay.
Well,
Have you
Not
thought about
quite.
trying a Lucky Strike cigarette? Smoke a Lucky to feel your level best. Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're feeling low, calms you down when you're feeling tense. Lucky Strike. It's toasted. Try one today.
It's toasted.
It is toasted. That's right. See, it says right there. It's toasted.
Right?
It's 1942. These are the products that are available now. Fuck. What am I supposed to do? Advertise for fucking shit that don't exist yet?
yes.
You two don't make any sense.
You're time traveling bartender.
She has
I
a
don't
point.
make any sense.
The lady has a point.
Bruh.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Bar's confusion with mascots.
What?
Mascots.
What?
That's what we're talking about right now.
That's right. The
Wait,
10
what-
creepiest
what
product
confusion?
mascots.
Oh my god! Fuck that thing! No!
What is that the mascot for exactly?
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box.
What's a
Fuck
Jack
that
in the
thing.
Box?
The burger joint.
I've never been.
Okay, it's a burger joint.
Yeah, I've
Oh.
never been either, but I fucking hate that mascot. That's dead eyes.
Do they have good burgers? Because I would be able to weather that.
I don't know. Last time I was at I don't know if Jack in the Box even exists anymore. I haven't seen one in so long. They're outside of my general range. But this is Jack I Box, the mascot for Jack in the Box. And he's that big old head, and Far finds him extremely creepy.
He is!
I mean, he has a
That is an
certain
abomination!
creepy factor about him, but I don't know. We could party.
I find him so generalized Like, it's just like a smiley face with the stupid hat. I don't get why anyone would find it creepy, so I'm here to like kind of like...
It's the eyes and the mouth, and honestly, a lot of it is just the eyes. His dead, soulless eyes.
That's what Mr. Moo says. How is Jack creepy? Exactly. I don't...
Is this pre-Jeff the Killer or post-Jeff the Killer? I can't tell.
Right?
Who the hell's Jeff the Killer?
Oh my god. You don't know who Jeff the Killer is? Google.
Off the top of my head.
Google.
It's a creepypasta.
Oh, okay. All right.
Have you not been introduced into the world of creepypastas?
I don't delve into the world of creepypastas.
Well, no, I'm talking about Polly because he doesn't know who Jeff the Killer is. I mean, at least you would have like a general familiarity, right?
Yeah, general sense. Like, I don't know the story, but I see in the image, and that's enough for me. It's like, eh.
My chat's running a little bit far behind when I'm looking at the screen capture versus the actual window I have chat in. So sorry if I'm missing out on saying when you're saying it. And thank you, Evolved Potato, for posting all of our links, including Weebo's. Weebo, the 3-foot-tall woman.
Hey!
That's what he typed. I'm not responsible. Anyway.
The 3-foot-tall woman.
Oh, Johnny Bonsaco says...
He's 4 foot tall.
I'll have you know, I am above 5 feet. Thank you very much.
Now, in any case, Johnny Bonsaco says, yeah, I'm out. I'm making a double for this one. So apparently he agrees with you, Far. See,
yeah,
I scrolled
Fucking
through
good.
these. The only creepy mascot, like I'm not going to pain you guys by going through all 10 because it'll take forever to load them. And honestly, they're just not all that creepy. The only one that counts is the Burger King. You know, the guy with the big face, the big plastic face? Yeah, that one's creepy, like, legitimately.
Yeah, here's the thing, like, I can see how it's creepy, but I find the Jack in the Box one creepier.
The next one's the Hamburglar. Hamburglar.
Hamburglar? I love the Hamburglar.
I've been drinking. Let's not make fun of the bartender.
I'll do what I want.
This is how bars get robbed. The bartender gets soused, and then all of a sudden, you know, he gets locked in the bathroom, and everyone just runs away with everything.
Oh, hey, it's still, according to law, it's still the Far Bar, technically, so...
Well, you know, that's an interesting segue to this story. Connecticut man broke into restaurant, spent days eating, downing booze, say the cops.
Wow.
You know what this face says to me? See this?
What does it say?
It says, you ridiculous bastards, you're just mad you didn't think of it first. All the restaurants are empty. They're all closed. You could break in. No one's going to be there for weeks. He broke in and just ate all their food and drank all their booze. And he's just pleased with himself that he thought of it before you did.
I mean, it is a little bit.
It kind of looks like he's thinking, yes, I conquered the Ronald McDonald. I conquered the McClown.
Let's see what happens here. Shameless freeloader quarantined himself into a shuttered Connecticut restaurant, helping himself to thousands of dollars worth of food and drink during a 4-day... Okay, they're talking about Bacchus, but I don't know how to say that, like the god of wine. Bacchanalian binge, police said?
Oh, wait. You said Bacchus?
Yeah. Like, see, how would you say that? Like, it's B-A-C-C, so it's obviously based on Bacchus. It's Bacchanalian binge?
That's
it?
Oh, wow, I don't like that word. No, highlighting it doesn't make it better.
I'm just trying to draw your attention.
Go away.
Bacchanalian.
Let's go with that. So this is a 4-day orgy of wine and food. Thank you, Evolved Potato, for the tip. Check hashtag Noir Bar before and after of a grande latte. Okay, yeah, we'll do it right after this story. Yeah, I saw that in chat, and I was planning on doing that right after this story. Luis Angel Ortiz, 42, was arrested early Tuesday after allegedly pillaging a Cuban restaurant in downtown New Haven, which police believe he busted into Saturday through a side window. Ortiz then proceeded to eat, drink, or steal several $1,000s worth of food and booze, including roughly 70 bottles of liquor. Fuck yeah, man.
70 bottles? Whoa.
I respect that hustle.
Like, what? he had to be like drinking just a quarter out of each one. Am I right? He's like, oh, look at this one. I'll try this one now. And then this one. And then this one, you know. Officer learned that Ortiz helped himself to over the course of 4 days to the restaurant's food, liquor, and beer. In addition to eating and drinking at the restaurant, Ortiz removed beverages and property from the building. Ortiz was taken into custody after a manager stopped by the closed restaurant and saw someone sleeping inside with a bottle of rum.
Oh my god.
It happens to the best of us.
That is priceless. The eatery was identified by the Hartford Courant as Sol de la Cuba Cafe, which serves up homestyle Cuban grub. Officers arrested Ortiz, who was also caught on the restaurant surveillance video. Management estimated the loss in food and beverage at several $1,000s. This includes an estimated 70 bottles of stolen or consumed liquor. Ah, he stole a bunch of that. I wanted to believe he drank it all. Ortiz was charged with burglary, larceny, and criminal mischief in connection with the alleged incident. He was also charged with failure to appear in court on an unrelated case. He was already wanted.
Yeah.
Well,
Holy fuck.
What it sounds like.
Oh, man.
okay.
Yep. This guy's living the
Well, I
high
guess-
life, you know? It's
I guess if you're already wanted, then, well, hey, you know, might as well just go the whole way.
I don't know if I exactly respect the hustle, like Weeb said, but I do have to admit, I did not think of it first. It didn't occur to me to break in and rob any business blind, but especially a restaurant, because who's going to be there?
Right? Like, I'm surprised we haven't heard more stories like that.
Well, all I keep hearing over and over again is crime is going down. Crime is going down because people aren't around each other to commit crimes, you know?
Yeah, but even so, it's like, you'd think you'd hear more, like, things like, so this one arsehole, right? He broke into this place and he stole all the shit.
Oh, dude, I'm so ready for the day someone decides that they want to fuck with my household while I'm here and I have all of my knives. I am ready. I have been practicing my throwing.
You just want an excuse to throw your knives.
A little bit.
That sounds like a
But
James
education.
Bond moment. You know, it's one of the femme fatales in a Bond movie. Some guy tries to break it in. She's wha-chunk, with throwing knives.
Are you ready?
Let me see.
Are you ready, Mr. Bond?
Is this ever gonna
It's
work?
time for you to knife. Is
See-
that bad?
I'd already be showing this picture if I didn't have potato problems, but I've got potato problems, guys. I'm not sure if I were to bring up my...
That could be a great t-shirt.
I've got potato problems?
You got problems, I got potato problems. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm really going to love having a disgusting sick amount of RAM. That's usually what maxes stuff out. Like, well, my CPU gets
Yep.
maxed out, but so much of my RAM is maxed out just for video processing because my laptop doesn't have a separate video card. It's all integrated, which, yeah, is pretty rough. Oh, here we go. This is what Evolved Potato was talking about. Miss Grande.
Yeah.
I would make the picture bigger, but the way I've got the screen split, it doesn't make it quite possible. But there it is. I mean, damn, girl. She very well might have been replaced by a Japanese robot at some point.
Yeah, you think so? You think that's
This could be
how they're gonna take over the world?
this could be a mannequin. I mean, look at this. Tell me that couldn't be a mannequin.
I mean, it could be.
Oh, that reminds
That is a transformation.
like, and you have to imagine with that dramatic of a transformation. I mean, like, okay, she's an Italian girl, all right. So there's a tendency towards the more olive end of the spectrum when it comes to white skinned folks. Sure, maybe she was doing the powder makeup and stuff because that's the look she wanted to go for then. But come on. I mean, it's such a radical change. That's not just the sunlight hitting you, girl, or not using powder makeup. I mean, you have to imagine if she got caught in the rain, her color would start running.
Oh, that you might be able to achieve that in a tanning bed, maybe? Question mark? I don't know. I've never tanned in a bed before, so I don't know.
Yeah, neither.
I tan naturally. Thank you very much.
I just burn.
Gil Cotto in chat says, many find my witticisms cutting, Mr. Bond. Perhaps you now get the point.
I love this. I only had one of those in me. I'm sorry, I can't do more.
Many men appreciate my edge.
My sharp wit.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I do.
What should we move on to next? We already talked about Bar's nightmare. We already talked about social repose, many people's nightmare.
Yeah.
We already talked about the nightmare of celebrity idiots creating masks for other celebrities. We do have a how-to on how to astral project.
Ooh.
Aren't you interested in knowing how to astral project, Weebo?
Not really. I think the closest I'll ever get to any, like, spiritual experience is probably when I go into a sensory deprivation chamber.
Thank you very much, X-Bubba Hotep, for the very generous $20 tip for the Potato/Maker's Mark Fund. Ooh. That might go towards the Maker's Mark Fund, I'm not gonna lie. Man, it'd be nice to have a good bottle of Maker's. I know Unholy Reaper likes Four Roses. I'm a fan of Four Roses, but I've argued this for years. Maker's is not the best bourbon. It's not. You can go to Blanton's Single Casks and Blanton's Gold and a bunch of other fantastic one. 18-year-old Eagle Rare, if you ever get a chance. Ooh, highly recommend it. But Maker's Mark, for its price, you have to go at least, in my opinion, $10, $20, $30 more to get something that's better. So in its price point, man, Maker's is where it's at. That's my the official Noir Bar recommendation.
Alright.
Oh yeah, we talked.
You know, I've never actually had Maker's Mark, so I don't have a frame of reference.
No?
I'm sorry. I know I disappointed you.
Not really. It's fine. What is your fancy drink that you're so proud of? The Dreamsicle?
Oh, the orange dreamsicle.
The
yes.
orange dreamsicle.
Malibu and orange juice and ice. It's very simple because I'm a very simple woman.
No, you're not. That's okay. We'll all participate in the lie.
It's not a lie. I am very simple. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't prove anything.
I do love this story that we're going to talk about, even though generally I don't talk about this stuff, but this one kind of makes me laugh. Come on, fucker. Your screen. Boom. See, I could do this all in one step. Oh, it's flashing. Oh my god. There we go. It stopped.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't mean to induce epilepsy in anybody who's watching that. I mean, not for you, for the bar patrons, but for ladies here. It's a Chrome thing. It's not my fault.
Yeah, it does. Just does it sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Jenny Bon Sacco says, and it's a good recommendation. That's what I'm drinking now. Good for you. Again, not the best that there is, but at its price point, that's up to be. New York Post, total trash rag that it is, says, Facebook's fact checkers are the real fake news after censoring a post story. I love it when newspapers are fighting with other sources of news. This makes my day. Did you just call us liars? Yes, Facebook just called you guys liars. How does that feel? Their fact checkers didn't believe your facts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just, oh god.
And I had to read the story. I had to read the story to find out what was happening.
So what was it that they were saying? That's fake news.
Well, it's
like what exactly?
Way back on February 23rd, the Post ran an opinion piece by Stephen Mosher saying that we couldn't trust China's stories about the origins of COVID-19. He argued that the virus might have jumped to the human population thanks to errors at a Chinese laboratory in Wuhan, rather than via the city's now notorious wet market. The piece was widely read online until Facebook stepped in.
No!
The social media giants fact checkers, that they put in quotations, that's a little bit of shade, decided this was not a valid opinion. If you tried to share the column on Facebook, the social network stuck a false information alert on top saying that finding was checked by independent fact checkers and preventing your friends from clicking to connect on the original article to see it for themselves. Again, this was an opinion column, not a news report. That's what it looks like.
Wow.
I'm not on Facebook, so I've never seen one of these things, but like they have been putting these up all over the place. Now keep in mind, this is Facebook, who the Android CEO went before Congress, and when being grilled by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, we will not review things for their factual basis. We don't have the manpower to do that. Well, even stuff campaign ads that are fake news or whatever, says we will just not take campaign ads. That's our decision because we can't fact check. But they are fact checking. Every fucking thing that Android says is garbage. It's that man attempting to testify before Congress the 2 times that I've seen it. I mean, he's under oath, right? And he knows perjury laws, and he's got the billions of dollars to pay all the lawyers to tell him, do not state anything they can hold you to. Because if you do anything different in the future, you just opened yourself up to perjury. If they can prove that you knew about something and testified differently, they can hold you up on perjury, and you don't want that. So if you watch his testimony, it's like watching someone trying to nail Jell-O to a wall. It just keeps moving. There's nothing there. It's so slippery. So, well, we feel that, and it's a platform in free speech, and that we feel and responsibility, and yeah. He's just talking to try and run out his time because there's a time limit of how long the questions can be and how long he can speak and how long they can keep him there for. So just talk out the timer. It's like, wait a minute. If you are actually fact-checking, which you're doing, here, even on opinion pieces that outright say they're opinion pieces, they hired a network of independent fact-checkers for this. Where is it? And who is it that did this fact-checker rely on for their opinion? As reporter Cheryl Atkinson notes, one expert consultant had a clear conflict of interest. She regularly works for Wuhan's researchers and even has done her own experiments there. Danielle Anderson, assistant professor at Duke NUS Medical School in Singapore, personally attested to the lab's strict control and containment procedures, thus was involved in identifying it as fake news. An opinion piece, not a news story. And you are censored. Labeled in this way. I find that so obnoxious, and normally I don't talk about politics during Noir Bar, but it's just, come on, man. You're engaging in the activities of a publisher when you claim to not be one. It's fine to do it over COVID-19, though, right? Everyone will agree that we need good news at this time, right? To the point of censoring opinion pieces in widely distributed newspapers? Really?
Yeah, he's walking a really fine line with this kind of thing, to be honest.
I want to see somebody grill him on the same subject matter that Ted Cruz grilled him on. Are you a publisher, or are you are you pushing your own opinion, which under the First Amendment is your right to do, and that is a protected right and nobody can stop you? Or are you, if you're exercising editorial control, then you can do so? Or is it just you're offering a platform for other people to do it, which means you're not curating any of the stuff that goes up? Which one is it, Mr. Zuckerberg? Zuckerberg talked out the mic, and as Yokado just said, he's filibustering. He just talked out the timer. Cruz asked him again. He filibustered. Cruz asked him a 3rd time, and he filibustered. It's amazing to watch on YouTube. Ted Cruz, Zuckerberg. Watch it happen. Like nailing Jell-O to a wall. The slimy bastard android refused to answer in any kind of way, and it was so obvious he was coached to. Do not say you're one or the other, because you will be doing so on the record before Congress. You want to be both. You want to have the protections of being able to say, hey, we're just a platform, but also have the privilege of editing and curating whatever you want. You want the best of both worlds. Even though that's, just you can't have both at the same time. Well, if you're Facebook, you can. Normally I wouldn't care, but I was reading how many people are getting their news from Facebook, and I was really depressed. I'm not even on Facebook, and I thought, who the hell's on Facebook anymore? Most people, apparently.
Well, just because that's where our family is sometimes. How I know whose birthday it is.
I mean, fair enough, and some people do say that. They say it's just keeping in contact with people, but so often I see polls where it's like, where are you getting your news from? And anybody under 30, the answer is the same every time. Twitter and Facebook, Twitter and Facebook, Twitter and Facebook. They say online, and when they say online, they mean Twitter and Facebook. When I'm talking to one of my normie friends, and I'm asking her, where did you hear about that? Where did you read about that? Her answer is always the same. Facebook. Somebody sent it to me on Facebook. Oh, holy fuck. Anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Scott, for your donation over on the Streamlabs. What would your Bond girl name be? Holly, what's my Bond girl name?
Well, Plenty O'Toole's already taken.
Hey! Listen here, Sonny Biscuit.
Memories Malone.
Alright, I'll take it. I will accept this.
I mean, you know what's funny about Bond femme fatale names? You can't really come up with anything that's too, quote, on the nose, because one of them was named Pussy Galore.
Yeah, after
they had gone full retard decades ago. When somebody's named Pussy Galore, that's it, you're done. I'm all the twat. How you doing? Like it.
There's no coming back from that one.
Actually, I love the scene in Diamonds Are Forever when Plenty O'Toole shows up and she's got big old titties and she's wearing a dress that's extremely revealing. Bond is playing at the craps table and she leans over the table and goes, "Hi, I'm Plenty O'Toole." And Connery looks over and looks down and looks up and goes, "Of course you are." it's like, really, that should. I don't think you guys were obvious enough with the insinuation there. All right. Do this. John Gotti's grandson busted with mafia big on arson charges.
Like the actual mafia?
Yes, the actual mafia.
The legit mafia, not the fake internet mafia, right?
Not the YouTube mafia.
Oh, I was like, what YouTube mafia? Oh, the one Scoob thinks exists. Right, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're part of that one. You're part of the Cool Kids Club Mafia, aren't you?
I can neither confirm nor deny this to be true.
You never admit
Can't
the existence
prove a
of this
goddamn thing. Asian and Zerillo, if you're listening to this, I plead the fifth.
Let's see here. Now, why I want to talk about this is not so much John Gotti's grandson, but the what brought about these charges and what made me start reading about it to begin with, which is the 1978 Lufthansa heist. Yeah, I don't need to explain that because you're going to find out about it in the course of this story. The aging wise guy who beat the rap in the infamous 1978 Lufthansa heist could now find himself sent to the slammer because he was so petty he wouldn't let another driver cut him off in traffic. Reputed mafia captain Vinny Asaro was busted Wednesday on charges that he had henchmen, including the grandson of John Gotti, torch a stranger's car over a road rage incident. I love this.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a little pissed and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna set this car on fire. It'll be fine.
I mean, get this.
It happens to the best of us.
This story is classic. Asaro, 82, and he's still doing this shit, okay? Was hauled back into the same Brooklyn courthouse he left with a huge grin when he was acquitted just 16 months ago of the $6 million JFK holdup immortalized in the classic mob movie Goodfellas. He was one of the robbers in Goodfellas that went in. Jimmy Burke and his crew. And remember, Scoob's father knows Jimmy Burke.
Yeah, so, hey.
See, it all connects.
It all connects.
According to the feds, Asaro was driving through Queens on April 1st, 2012, when another motorist cut him off at a traffic light. enraging the reputed Bonanno capo so much that he sped after the unidentified man. He was in his fucking late 70s at this time. Asaro somehow got the other driver's address and allegedly ordered an identified Bonanno associate to set fire to his car in revenge.
Oh, God.
This story is great. I love this. The associate recruited Gotti, who's since been convicted and locked up on a state drug charge, and the reputed Bonanno associate, Matthew Fat Matt Rullen, who helped him pull off the job, according to the feds. And here's the job. In the pre-dawn hours of April 4th, 2012, the three men allegedly drove Gotti's Jaguar to a service station where they filled up a container with gas. They went to the home of the guy who had cut off Asaro, where they doused his car with gas and set it ablaze.
It happened.
An NYPD cop patrolling in an unmarked car spotted the flames and chased the Jaguar, tearing through the streets of Queens until the cop had to give up for safety reasons due to Gotti's reckless driving, the feds said. Maybe you just plain old lost him. The next day, the unnamed Bonanno associate told Asaro about the arson, leading the aging mobster to drive to the auto body shop where the burned vehicle had been towed to confirm that his order had been carried out. I mean, he's so fucking mad over somebody cutting him off in his late 70s that he calls up a couple of his boys and says, go torch this guy's car. I got his license plate. I called up one of my friends at the DMV. Here's his address. Go burn his fucking car. And they went and did it. And the next day, he goes to the fucking wrecking yard just to look at it to be, fucker, cut me off in this car and now it's a burning heap.
That is pretty fucking vindictive. Like, holy fuck.
I have never been that petty in my life, and this is me we're talking about, so... Wow. That's extra, and you know it's extra when I say it's extra.
You might want to know what ended up happening to this man.
Do I?
Okay. What happened?
Well, he was sent to jail and then released just today over coronavirus concerns.
Of course he was.
It happens. Thank you, Evolved Potato, for the donation. You didn't like being 3 feet tall in the shilling, so I changed it. Alright. That's fair. I appreciate that.
Nice.
A good time.
Well, I mean, BG says you act like Bond girl names weren't always like that. Bond's first girl's name was... No, I understand that they've always been, like, they always went with the sexual innuendo. I remember on American Dad, the one episode that they did that was a Bond parody, and it's actually really good. Francine, Stan's wife, plays the Bond girl, and she's Elena Sex Pun. Because like we're not gonna waste our time coming up with a sex pun. Let's just call her Sex Pun. I thought that was great. It was meta irony. The aging Bonanno capo, who once beat charges that he was involved in the infamous 1987 Lufthansa heist, we've already heard this. Wise guy Vinny Asaro was granted a compassionate release Friday out of concerns that the 85-year-old Bonanno Big, who had a stroke last year, is at high risk if he catches coronavirus. So he's been released. If Asaro were to contract COVID-19, given his age and current state, it is not unlikely that the consequences would be dire. A Brooklyn federal judge, Aileen Ross, wrote in a 16-page decision. Fucking amazing.
But he's in his 80s, though. It's like, isn't he nearing the end anyway? Especially if he's had a stroke.
And this is when you're not wrong, but this relates to the timing of all of this stuff. So the 1978 Lufthansa heist, this guy gets ratted out by somebody else that got busted for something and says, hey, remember that massive $6 million haul from Lufthansa Airlines back in the late 70s? And the FBI guys are like, yeah, because they never solved it, right? It's like, I know a guy who was involved in it. And if you go light on me, I'll tell you who he is and testify against him, because that's how rats work. And he did. And so they arrested Asaro, and he ended up getting acquitted on it. Prosecutors allege that Asaro was involved with the band of mob hoodlums who breached Lufthansa cargo terminal at Kennedy Airport on December 11, 1978, and made off with $6 million in cash and jewels, though the jurors were not convinced. The reputed mobster's freedom was short-lived. Less than 2 years after the trial, he was back before Judge Ross on charges that after someone cut him off, he went and burned. That was less than 2 fucking years later is when that thing happened. The guy gets off on a charge stemming from 1978, and he's still sending out fucking people to burn cars of strangers that cut him off in traffic. This guy's a gangster for life.
Right? Like, what? Wow, dude.
Me.
That's why I love that story so much. He's just to round out our mafia stories, feds won $182,000 from Colombo boss who won money in prison from a ping pong injury settlement.
A ping pong injury? I'm sorry, what?
Table tennis. You know?
Oh god.
No, I know what it is, but I'm like, a ping pong injury?
I need that kind of problem in my life.
The feds want to seize back more than $182,000 from a Colombo family street boss who was awarded the money through a personal injury suit against the government when he cracked his own kneecap playing prison ping pong.
Okay. Okay.
I love it so much. Prosecutors have filed papers to get their hands on Tommy Shots Galetti's settlement money to partially satisfy a $360,000 forfeiture order related to a pair of robberies in the 1990s. The feds found out through an investigator into the 67-year-old wise guy's finances that his only significant asset at this point is his personal injury award. The government's investigation indicated that the proceeds of the defendant's offenses, which date back to the 1990s, have been dissipated, disposed of, or transferred to third parties, or are otherwise not available for forfeiture. An inspector with the U.S. Marshals Service wrote in court papers. The forfeiture bid is subject to approval by a Brooklyn federal judge. Gioletti was, or Gioeli. The guy was accused of masterminding the 1992 robbery of furs by Mina, a Nassau County clothier. Fuck.
One more time, Polly. I'm sure you'll get it this time.
Well, I'm
It's okay, we believe in you.
I'm 4 drinks deep. And damn.
Just take your time. Just take your time.
A clothier?
You got it.
Whoever says clothier, it's like that's something that only journalists ever write. It's like when they call a driver a motorist. You know, I read those things in journalism.
No, you.
No, what do they got? Like a fucking particular lexicon book? If you want to sound like a pretentious journalist, you need to use these words. You look up driver and it says replace with motorist.
Oh, you've never gone out of your way to sound super pretentious, Polly?
No, I just sound that way naturally.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. In that case. By all means, continue.
The guy was accused of masterminding the 1992 robbery of Furs by Mina, a Nassau County clothes shop, in which he and 2 other Colombo associates posted as father and son trios out shopping. They restrained the shop owner and looted the store, making off with 150 fur coats stuffed in trash bags, roughly worth $900,000. Holy fuck. While locked up, let's get on to the ping pong. While locked up at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, the guy, who suffers from diabetes and heart disease, took up playing table tennis twice a week for exercise. But during a 2013 match, he chased after a loose ball and slipped on a puddle of water and went down on one knee, roughing himself up so badly that he needed surgery and a 30-day hospital stay. Brooklyn federal judge Kyoto Masasumoto, who presided over the guy's $10 million personal injury lawsuit, said that the injury was half his own fault because he frequently played ping pong near a leaky shower station, but laid the other half of the blame at the feet of the government for not keeping the area safe.
Okay, wow. I can't think of a better place to be playing prison ping pong than near a leaky shower station. Jesus Christ.
That amazes me. So, like, the guy, what? They didn't even just hit the government or the judge or the jury, whoever was a jury. The jury didn't even hit the government up largely with punitive damages, meaning fix that shit. Why give that guy money? Like, it's not like he's suffering lost work. Oh, I need money for the lost wages that I'll be out of work for cracking my kneecap. But you're in fucking prison. What's the money? I guess the money's for pain and suffering, right?
I guess.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. And what kills me is this whole thing seems like... I mean, I know why the New York Post is fighting on that. Because they're a trash rag. And that's what they do. And that's why I love them. They're like unapologetically... what's the word I'm looking for here? Help me out. What's a trash rag called? Like the National Enquirer. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember because I've been drinking. What is it?
Garbage pail.
That works.
Come on, Weebs. You've got a big word bag.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Does that work?
Jesus.
You asked for a big word.
It means
Also, thank you, Mr. Scott, for donating again to say Polly needs a mobster avatar called the Otter Father. Oh my god! That would be adorable.
Otter Father.
Yeah.
I might start work on that. Sitting there in a tuxedo in a tall back chair with my fingers steepled in contemplative machinations of criminal enterprises and so forth. Now, why can I rattle shit like that off the top of my head when I'm drinking, but I can't read correctly?
Different parts of the brain being affected, maybe? Question mark?
Tabloid. Thank you, Madam Winter. This is tabloid journalism. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have given you that.
Yeah.
I barely know what a tabloid is, other than, isn't it like that thing that you eat when you're sick? Or is that a tablet?
That's a tab.
Okay.
All right.
You do have tablets when you're sick,
my bedtime.
but you don't eat them. You're not supposed to chew tablets. Unless they're like Flintstones chewables, but you shouldn't be taking those as an adult.
Hey, don't judge me, all right? Maybe I want Flintstones chewies. You ever think about that? Huh?
But
Huh? I thought not.
and next 6
The
minutes
vitamin
says...
companies will come and use someday.
6 says tabloid. Cult of Krill says poo? No. Cult of Krill, not poo. And Johnny Von Sacco is just getting hostile for no reason. What the fuck? See, what kills me about this is that they've had to file papers to get their money on. So he was cited with $360,000 of forfeiture. Because of this robbery in the 90s. That's what the original court case cited him as. They weren't aware that he had 182 grand from a settlement with the very same fucking government? But it blows my mind. It's like, wait a minute, you handed over 182 grand to this guy, not realizing that he still had a $360,000 forfeiture lien against him? The fuck? And it took you years to find this out? I mean, this is the government with egg on their face in a really, really big way. It's like, wait a minute, you mean to tell us, like, the federal marshals are the one doing this? It's like, the federal marshals didn't know? Weren't you transporting him to the civil court every day for his hearings on this cracked knee matter? I don't know, maybe it was the Bureau of Prisons or whoever the fuck it was that was handling the transportation.
You're nice.
Yeah.
I couldn't begin to tell you.
Oh. Now, I don't know if this is going to allow it to play, but this is a rounding up our fucked up things that happen in New York. Why I really don't like New York currently, nor any of the times that I've been there in the past. NYPD cop suspended after profane rant. Can y'all hear it?
No.
Hang on.
Check.
It's not quite there yet.
Okay. You know what? You guys will... I can tell you what's happening and it'll have the same effect. What you have is like a largely empty street, right? And you got some drunk or mentally ill man yelling at the cop, and the cop on his megaphone yelling back at him.
Why?
Why? 2 NYPD officers have been suspended after being caught on camera in a curse-laden tirade over the cruiser's megaphone, repeatedly telling a disturbed man to shut the fuck up. The 2 cops, who have not been identified, were stripped of their guns and badges on Thursday night, hours after the video of the graphic encounter was posted online. One of the officers had 20 years on the job, while the other one joined 18 years ago. The back and forth between the officers and the unknown man, who was mostly screaming incoherently, like I said, drunk or crazy, happened sometime Wednesday night on West 49th Street. At one point, the unknown man could be heard yelling, "We gon' fuck you up," as the police SUV pulls. Like I've heard it. Like he's deranged. He's like I said, drunk, crazy, or both. Right? We gonna fuck you up as the police SUV pulls up to the curb on the avenue. Shut up. Fuck you and shut up. Fuck you. Suck a fat one. Shut the fuck up before I smack the shit out of you. One of the cops is heard saying over the vehicle's megaphone. He does.
That's the cops?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. Like when you hear it, he's just saying it so matter of fact. Suck a fat one. One of the cops can be heard saying, "Shut the fuck up. Lick my balls. Fuck you." The cop later says while pulling.
So much for that professionalism.
Suck a fat one. Suck my dick. Yes, great.
I will just play it
Perfect.
so chat can hear it, and then you guys can hear it on the delay. But it's worth listening to just how.
Okay.
Like, you're letting some drug, probably homeless or whatever the fuck guy bait you. What are you doing? You've been on the force for 18 to 20 years? I mean, come on, guys.
Oh my god.
Roll for initiative, and now you say, "Hi, how are you today?" in New Yorkese. Well, I mean, if you listen to his voice, it sounds like AP's impression of Scooby. Hey, you want to shut the fuck up? You better not call my mother's house. Like it.
Better not call my mother's house.
Is that really how New Yorkers speak? Like, legitimately?
Depends whereabouts from New York they're from. But
You know,
yeah, I've heard of a whole bunch of them talk like that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you know what? Cultic Girl's got a good point. Jesus Christ. Just mute this goddamn autoplay.
Excuse me, I burped.
Started. Well, I doubt anybody heard that or anything else over the fucking loud as fuck video that just started fucking playing. Cultic Girl says, "How the hell does one spend 20 years as a beat cop?" Yeah, that is a long time. What did you do? Who did you piss off? You know what I mean? That you're stuck still driving around. I don't know. Maybe they were
Maybe
senior
he's just-
officers doing a patrol.
He's just a really shitty cop, maybe? Question mark? I don't know.
But it does tell you a lot about the attitude of cops who have been on the job for 20 fucking years, doesn't it? They spent the last 20 years telling people to shut the fuck up and suck fat ones and stay away from my mother's house, you know?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, rounding out the kind of tabloid journalism. Post is good for us. Post kind of nice. Is this story? Because this is just the height of sensationalism, using sensationalistic graphics to get their point across. You ready for this, guys?
Oh
Yes.
boy.
'Cause
I
I know you're both.
My body is ready.
I know you're both ladies of delicate sensibilities and so forth. So
Uh-huh.
Yes, I'm so delicate.
the zoo
Right.
might feed animals to each other to stay afloat during a lockdown. And
Excuse me?
look
Wait,
at,
which animals are getting fed where?
look at his face.
I'm curious. Are we
Is that
feeding
one of the
all
animals
of the
gonna get
reptiles? Yeah,
Look-
are we feeding all of the reptiles to all of the other animals? Because I'd be down with that. Specifically-
Look at the big Disney eyes on that seal. Oh,
Oh.
they're gonna feed him to something.
Stop that right now. None of that.
No. God damn it.
This is just.
Upsetting.
It's so obvious what they're doing here because, you know, like I said, Laysdale, because that's Billy's. It's like anyone reading that's going to go, wait, what? You know what I mean? And you see this big, sad-eyed seal staring at you. You're like, no, don't. This is the essence of clickbait. The New York Post, you are experts at this kind of trash journalism. Oh my God. Yeah, Coulter Krill says, so, nature? Yeah, right. Hey, of all potato. That's how you get escorted out of the bar. Not funny. The otters will be fine. You leave them alone. And get the first line of the story. The coronavirus is sending this zoo into a feeding frenzy. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. Great.
No, you know what? I have a better idea. All right? You want to keep the zoo afloat? Animal Fight Club. Live stream it. All right?
Animal Fight Club. Oh, my God.
That way you're at least giving some of the animals a chance, and it's more natural that way, all right?
Well, okay, really quick. Mr. Scott asked, as far as Streamlabs. No, she is not, but she has a sweet merch shop, and the link is in the description, and you can go pick up a t-shirt that are really comfortable, because Far owns one, and she wears it all the time.
Yeah.
And we should all pressure Far to put up more merch, am I right?
Pressure. Do it.
Yeah. Because she's got great
No,
ideas.
I don't want it.
She's got great ideas, great art. Everybody's seen the otters. And Weebo has an avatar that she's used in a couple of her videos now that looks great. And Far is a reluctant artiste and doesn't want to put her stuff out there. And we need to pressure her to make it happen.
Pressure, 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 pressure.
I don't like the pressure.
You don't have a choice.
Unholy Reaper asks, Polly, did you have any luck on picking up the AR upper that you were looking for? Let me tell you a story about that real quick.
Oh boy.
I would really like a really quick thank you, Gilcotto, for the tip. Much appreciated. Hold on. Refreshing. For the $10 tip, thank you very much. Polly, some potato funds. In honor of Noir Bar, I'm sipping Tasmanian 666 vodka, coffee infused, with equal parts Bailey and milk and fresh espresso, and some rock cane sugar. Also, that cop is the cop they need. An Xbox Live player trash talking on patrol. There weren't nearly enough. There weren't really nearly enough N-bombs for that. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Isn't that what trash talking is known for during heavy-duty COD gaming?
That and calling them faggots.
Admit it. It would have made it 10 times as funny if the cop was saying that over the megaphone.
Oh,
you faggot! You faggot!
Well, it absolutely would have.
Yeah.
Well, he did tell him to suck a fat one, so he was getting some goddamn close to come.
Yeah. Almost there. So close, yet so far.
Holy shit. See, Johnny Bonsaco says it. More merch. Come on, Far. Exactly. So, the upper. Thank you very much, Gokado. Much appreciated. I have an AR-15, but it's only in 223.556, right? And, as you know, Weebo, there's a picture of you shooting an AR on your Twitter, so I know you know. You can get replacement uppers for them, and I've been really hankering and thinking about upper and 300 blackout for a long time, because the only 300 blackout chambered firearm I have right now is bolt action Remington 700, which I love, but ARs, am I right? So Unholy Reaper sending me links, and he's like, "Here, you want this, don't you? Look, Arrow Precision has them for so inexpensively." Yeah. Imagine how angry the bar patrons would be if I went and spent money from the potato fund on a gun, no matter how cool of a gun. I don't think they'd forgive me.
Well, I don't know. Maybe if you showcased it in some way.
Yeah, I mean, but I tried doing that before and nobody gave. I started the quadruple P, the Procure a Pistol for Poly Fund.
Well, hype it.
That didn't last very long though, did it?
Yeah, you got to make it into a thing. It's got to be one of those annoying jokes. The ones that are overdone that you don't like anymore. Just keep iterating through it.
Yeah.
Bring it up again and again and again and again and again.
It's the only reason that I bought that Remington 700 in bolt action is because I already had an AR, and I didn't want to buy an AR upper. I wanted a bolt action gun, something that I could bench rest shoot with, and something that I could hand load with. The idea is this is grad student thinking, right? How can you stretch your dollar because you're broke? It's I like shooting, but I want to shoot for cheap. So I could buy it in 308, but I really like 300 blackout because it's an interesting round. And I can load 30 caliber rounds in it still, and it's more efficient with powder. And you're using 223 cases cut down to make your 300 blackout cases, so I don't have to buy fresh 308 cases or factory ammo and keep the brass from them. This is all a bunch of inside gun nerd shit. But my point is, I bought that gun because it was on super fucking sale, brand new in box, and I could extend the hobby, as it were, into reloading in this big fascinating way. And it was a great move at the time. I don't know if I could really justify that in the same fucking way, but Unholy Reaper, I do a video coming out that I've started to put together. It's the top 5 dream guns of a broke grad student. So they're all like inexpensive firearms that are actually within my purchasing capability. You know, most people's top 5 dream guns are like $5,000 rare guns. There's some antique gun or a vintage gun from World War II, or, you know, I want a Singer Sewing Machine Company 1911 from World War II, because there's only like whatever 500 of them made. Yes, Singer Sewing Machine Company actually made 1911s for a very short time.
See, I want a rifle, but I want to blow all my money on a sniper scope.
You want to blow your money on a sniper scope?
Yeah, like a really good one. Like a really, really good one.
Matt of Winter asks, is it a computer gun? No, see, that's just it. I really got to spend the money on a computer first, but that doesn't mean that I didn't spend time staring at that and thinking, ooh, all this stuff I could do with this. And Roll for Initiative says, get a 1022. I already have a 1022. I am a big fan of it. I like it a lot. I've upgraded it with this or that over the years and years I've had it, and I shoot the shit. Oh, Eve showed up. Hey, Eve, how's it going? You didn't know that we were streaming? Well, goddamn YouTube.
Now you know. Hi.
Ugh, my butt hurts.
Dokado says you need to use adventure game logic. Apply to the gun to all problems until it works. Okay.
So you got a moon logic it?
Yeah, is it? Roll for Initiative says, isn't Blackout subsonic? It can be. You can light load it with heavy projectiles, and it'll be subsonic. Or you can use 110 grainers and get them boogieing down range at buck naked speed, like up at like 2450 feet per second, out of a 16-inch barrel. Shorter than that, you'll never get there. But Holy Reaper, I'm going to be mad at you because of that video, ain't I? Yeah. Probably. Like, the point is like, these are think of them as ramen dreams. Like, the guy who likes ramen, it's like, one day I dream of ramen that has beef and a hard-boiled egg in it. And it's like, dude, it's still fucking ramen. Like, you know what I mean? They're all guns along those lines, like, that are totally within my purchasing power, but just outside of it. That kind of thing. Hopefully it'll be fun. And I just want to put up a top 5 guns video that wasn't the same as everyone else's. There's so many videos, you remember me complaining about this, that are like, top 5 guns for the zombie apocalypse. Top 5 guns to purchase during the COVID crisis. Top 5 guns in case the world falls apart. And they're always the same guns. 9mm Glock, a 12-gauge shotgun, an AR-15, and 223. Yeah, I know.
You're right, Polly. Just once I would like to see a video entitled Top 5 Guns to Take Out Your Mother-in-Law, and just have it be out like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ones that interest me are the odd ones. Like, remember Yankee Marshall, even though he's got some fucked up opinions, had a video that, like, top 5 guns that are way outside my purchasing power, like dream guns, basically. And they were just wildly extravagant guns that were just for no reason. Like, he wanted, I think on that list was one of the 1911s that was made out of that meteorite mineral. So, like, you know, $30,000 guns just because of the rarity of the material that they're made out of. It's like, why? Oh, I don't know. For crazy rich people who just want to own something to point at when their friends come over, that sort of thing. All right. Let's see. Who says I like ramen? So do I. So do I. It's not hate on the ramen. It's kept me alive, god damn it. Oh yeah, we were talking about feeding zoo animals to each other.
I gotta be so rude.
Let's see. One struggling German...
Not talking about that, Polly.
What's that?
I was perfectly happy not talking about zoo animals eating each other.
Well, they're not exactly
we all were.
they're not exactly eating each other. They're being fed to each other, so it's a little different.
Potato. They're
How much
still
different
eating
is
each
it?
other, aren't they? Regardless of who is initiating that.
All right, here we go. One struggling German zoo. Of course, it's Germans. Is anyone surprised? Really?
Right? Fucking Germany.
Let's liquefy the living and feed them, or liquefy the dead and feed them to the living. But they're not dead yet. We can fix that. One struggling German zoo has devised a hard... It's cool. Has devised a heartbreaking proposal to stay afloat while closed over the coronavirus concerns, feeding the animals to each other. The tragic announcement comes a month after the nation's animal sanctuaries begged German Chancellor Angela Merkel for 100 million euros to help care for their critters amid state-mandated social distancing restrictions. Quote, "We've listed the animals we'll have to slaughter first," Verena Kaspari, director of Nunmeister Zoo, tells German newspaper Der Welt, according to the BBC. Nunmeister belongs to an association and is therefore not entitled to financial relief from the state, leaving the visitorless zoo with little recourse. Kaspari didn't list which animals will be slaughtered, but she says the unpleasant cost-cutting measure might not even be close enough to offset their losses. Penguins and seals require an exorbitant amount of fish per day to sustain them, and unlike other business, zoos can't go dormant during the pandemic due to animals' daily feeding and enclosure maintenance requirements. So that's right, it's the penguins and these adorable big sad-eyed guys that are going first.
Aww.
Celtic Girl says, I have jokes that will get me fired. I don't doubt it. Quote, if it comes to it, I'll have to euthanize the animals rather than let them starve. I may enjoy it, but that doesn't mean you have to, says Kaspari, who I made that last part up. Who projects that the business could lose almost 200 grand this spring. The toll isn't merely financial. Berlin zoo spokeswoman Feline Hackmeister says the situation is really boring for charismatic creatures like seals and apes who love human visitors. So thus they're going to feed the seals to the apes to keep them entertained. I made that last part up. Some zoo and
No, that sounds 100% accurate.
it did say that the seals and apes are charismatic creatures and love human visitors. Now, is it impossible that they'd be feeding the seals to the gorillas? No. I think it's possible. Gorillas eat meat, right? I mean, they're big old carnivores, aren't they? Omnivores, I would think.
I don't know, actually.
Mr. Scott, careful. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Some zoos and aquariums have managed to circumvent social distancing concern by offering virtual safaris that can be enjoyed from the comfort of the animal lovers' homes. That's the end of the story. They're going to feed the animals to each other, man. It's like a big old Matrix situation. Oh my god.
Okay, so apparently gorillas more eat like fruit, leaves and shit like that, and maybe some bugs. So I don't know if they'd go for the seal meat.
Huh. Really? They're herbivores? Well, I guess not the
Mostly.
bugs. Huh. Then what do they got the big sharp teeth for?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, I understand that they've got leaf chewing back teeth like we do, molars and etc. But they got big old canine teeth. You ever seen an angry gorilla? They got big old fangs, man.
Yeah,
Or
I
if cartoons
wouldn't
lied to
tell
me.
you. I don't know. Do you still believe cartoons are real, Polly?
Yes.
See?
Do we need to have a talk?
Without hesitation, yes.
The great merge is coming.
Oh god. The dimensional. Really?
It's It's fine. You'll be okay.
Yeah, just, majority of the population will die, but that's fine. It's all okay.
Wait a minute. In the dimensional merge, Chris Chan thinks the majority of the population is going to die?
Well, not the majority, but a significant portion.
I didn't know that was part of it. That's news to me. What the fuck?
No, it is a part of it. And he goes like, it's okay though. It's fine. Because this is what it's meant to be. It's like, fucking hell, dude.
I don't understand. Why does he think it's fine? Does he offer any reason?
Well, part of it is like, he thinks some people are going to merge with their cartoon counterparts. And the other part of it is like, I guess, natural disaster shit. I don't really know. I've just seen it around that he said this. I've read it somewhere, but I've forgotten the exact details of why he justified it.
So Zombie Tay says, Polly, so you're saying that if I wanted an endangered species steak right now, it's time to donate money to a zoo.
Yes.
Maybe if you knew somebody
At
foul.
least the German one.
Well, yeah. Maybe if you knew someone foul at a zoo that was willing to give you endangered animal meat for money. But I would think that you could just kind of wait till they start to starve and euthanize them, and then that would be the time to show. I love that this, like, I will personally euthanize them. I love that she took the responsibility onto herself. I'll do it. You know what I actually think that article's for? Because they're part of a private network, so they can't get state funding, right? The sad seal picture and feeding animals to each other and all that is to generate money, donations for them, so they don't have to do this thing.
Oh yeah, no, it has to be a kind of alternate way to raise money or something. But there's no way it's not.
That's what I'm thinking. It's a tactic, man. They're using your guilt and love of large-eyed Disney animals against you.
Yeah, they're basically saying, yeah, well, we got to kill the seals first and the penguins, two animals that are very beloved by people in general.
It's really distressing to me. I don't like this.
I do have a question.
I have an answer, maybe.
Say, friends, do you like sitting by a warm fire at night? So do I. That's why you should use blue coal. It's thrilling to trust luck, but not when you're buying fuel. You don't trust a luck when you buy blue coal. Colored, so that you know you can identify it. Buy blue coal today.
Why does it have to be fucking blue?
I just said...
Wait,
so
does it make blue fire, or is it just blue colored coal?
I just said it's colored so that you can identify it.
But it's... Why specifically blue?
But why do you need to identify it?
So you know it's quality blue coal. As opposed to some,
Can't the package just tell us that it's quality?
How are you going to trust that? It could be like some knockoff brand of Chinese coal, for all you know.
All right. Well, hang on. Doesn't the fact that it is blue make it a little bit more sketchy? Because isn't charcoal typically black?
Yes, it is. They specifically color it blue so you know it's quality coal from them. And thank you, Cult of Krill. You get it.
But I don't know.
What are they using?
I'm with Weebo on this.
Blue?
It seems a bit sketch.
Yeah, like what? How do you know you're not burning something horrible along with the coal? Because how are you going to color the coal blue? Especially coal. Coal is dark. It's black. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's dark as fuck. All right. I'm very tired.
I've got a better question. Why does every woman in my life want to deconstruct the jokes? What the fuck?
No, it's not every woman. It's just me.
No, it's far too.
Yeah, no,
but like
the last time you brought it up, I did the exact same thing. I'm like,
oh, that's
why? Why
to be fair, I encouraged this one.
People are terrible. I don't get it. What's with the blue coal? In case you didn't know, the blue dye that they spray it with only penetrates the surface. It also lubricates, so when it's moving down the shutter line into the bags that you buy quality blue coal with, buy blue coal, it stops it from breaking up because it provides a surface lubricity, and larger chunks of coal provide longer, safer, warmer heating for you and yours. By Blue
But
Coal.
wait! If the coal is moist, how is it gonna light, Polly?
It dries off immediately after being sprayed with the quality dyes that they use. By Blue
Okay,
Coal.
so then how is it lubricated still? Like, I don't like this. I don't like this.
Don't go into advertising, Weeps, okay?
I have too much of a soul for this job.
You know, I'm gonna Weebs is getting punch drunk, and nobody's punched her, nor is she drinking. So
I am tired, Polly. It's well past my bedtime.
she's about to turn into a pumpkin, y'all. So I think that we're going to put out last call 5 minutes from now. We will be closing the bar,
Okay.
so get your drink orders in, slam them down fast, and ask any questions of myself, the drunken bartender with the bottle ready at the pour, or any of the other two ladies that have been keeping me company at the bar tonight. If you have any questions, now's the time. So, Weebs, how far is this past your usual bedtime? I'm curious.
Well, I like to go to bed before midnight, or at least be in bed by midnight and just casually be falling asleep to the lovely sounds of screaming children on my phone. No, I like to listen to Celtic music before I go to bed because it soothes me to sleep.
You know what I enjoy falling asleep to, like in terms of like other than like videos and movies, crack and stuff like that, is ambiance stuff, like the
Like waves.
I tend to like rain and fireplace
Ooh.
stuff, campfire. Guild of Ambiance is a channel on YouTube. They've got a bunch of like, oh yeah, I remember telling you about this, Weebs. The one Old Library is fantastic. You hear
Yes.
distant echoing creaking of chairs, nothing very loud. It's all very ambient in the background, but it's raining and you hear soft fireplaces crackling. Oh man, that's that's a lull, all right. And Platty's been here the whole time, which is great. Far, why do you ignore my occasional chat trolls? Why do you ignore your own girlfriend?
I'm
My
sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
Rude.
I'm obviously not looking at chat.
Mr. Boom asks, how did you find AP? From the original Gulf City stream when Ghastly and AP were still doing their thing. I was watching AP when he was still a frog.
Oh, that's right.
You remember that?
I do.
He was
Do you like him better as a frog, or do you like him more now as a not frog?
I would say now more as a not frog because there's so much more he can do with it, like with the the wagging eyebrows and the fake salesman thing at the as many times as I've heard it on the Blunt stream, I forget the line. It's the Adonis Paul Casino Resort something in gun range. Like that the whole shtick job that he's created for himself with the whole casino look and everything is fucking it's on point. It's fantastic. It's well thought out. Almost as well thought out as Noir Bar, but not quite.
Oh, it's always got to be just one step ahead, isn't it?
Well, I've got a complete lore.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a setting. How did AP arrive here? How did it get the name Adonis Paul's Pleasure Palace? See?
I think it's quite straightforward. His name is Adonis Paul, and it is a palace of pleasure.
If he has to hit people up for money, like the Adonis Paul Society for the promotion of Adonis Paul, or whatever he calls it, to collect his... Holy fuck, that's so funny. Because other streamers may lie to you that they're going to spend it on better equipment or cameras. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to spend it on liquor, weed, and all the other amenities that I haven't earned.
Jesus.
Mood.
Holy fuck. Weebo of All Potato would like to know, how is it to only be 3'1" tall?
I am not only 3'1" tall. You're missing a couple feet there. At least 2.
You're at least 2 feet tall?
No! At least 2 more feet added on to that initial estimation, sir.
4 feet?
5 feet.
5 feet. I thought you were 5'1".
I'm 5'2".
Oh, 5'2". Shit. Did you hear the anger?
Do not disrespect the House of Jones.
Whoa. There was like a swinging broadsword behind that statement. Jesus, the House of Jones will prevail.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Cult of Krill says AP and Ghastly had chemistry. Yeah, they did, no question. I'm glad there's no back and forth animosity, even though it fell apart. That's fucking great. It's a good thing because they're both hilarious. Gokado says, imagine super future you doing research into Corona and its political science effects. Do you pity them having to drill through the crazy amount of content? Oh man, I'm never going to do virology, sociological consequences, or epidemiology. Ooh. So that's the 9 clapper, right? 7 clapper? Epidemiology. Fuck! That's right up there.
That's too many syllables for my liking. That's too much work. I'm a very lazy person.
Truth be told, I do national security research, and I am ecstatic to have a subject and research focus that I am still very much interested in and haven't bored of yet, and coming bored of, unlike so many of the other people around me that they pick a trendy topic and regret it for the rest of their career.
Well, see, that's why the rest of us only get into academia for like the standard 4-year period.
You know the thing that they told you, did you ever hear this in undergrad? Enjoy undergrad, because if you go on to grad school, the range of subjects that you're studying are going to narrow to the point where by the time you're a PhD student, you have like the T-shaped education where it's broad across the general range of things and then goes super deep in one area to the point where like you know everything there is to know and every minute detail about this tiny little subject that only 5 people on Earth care about. Right? That's not even close to being true. The most broad reading that I've ever had to do is in doctoral studies. Stuff that's it's anger producing. Like, this is so radically outside my field of study. This ain't got fuck all to do with fuck all with anything that I research. That was a story that I was told, and it turned out to be total bullshit. Because all of the professors put on your reading list for your comprehensive exams and all the things that they're going to screw around with you on, and why don't you add this into your research, why don't you add this into your dissertation, etc., is their own pet research topics. So you become responsible to have a fairly broad understanding of everything that they think is important, even though it's only important to them. Yeah, your subject sucks.
Psychology, my subject?
I still find psychology, especially like IO psychology, industrial and organizational psych, fascinating.
I never dove into industrial organizational. Although animal comparative study psychology is fantastic, I think. I would have a boatload of fun doing that. I think I want to get a parrot. Just so I can have fun with that.
Well, remember, just a biological automaton. Autonoma. Instead of I said automaton.
It's a parrot, Holly.
It's an autonoma. Just because it can say words doesn't mean it's smart. I mean, Kim Kardashian can say words.
Did you ever see Alex the parrot?
Wait, does he do math?
No, but he could. Okay, so he could learn words, but he could learn to identify what the words mean. Just like, dog identifies that going for a car ride is going for a car ride or whatever. I mean, it's not like thinking about the galaxy and our own existence intelligent, but it is a level of intelligence.
Cult of Krill says Black Science Man has a PhD, meaning, well, do you mean Michael Eric Dyson, or do you mean the other 3 named self-promoting scumbag?
Neil deGrasse
Tyson.
Oh, the space guy.
Yeah. That can't be that hard to get. Well, it depends on what field you're in, and I'm not saying Neil deGrasse Tyson is smart enough to know that he wasn't going to make any valuable contributions to his field and chose not to research that would add to the body of knowledge of astrophysics inside of his field. Instead, go around and self-promote. I've asked it before, and I've never gotten a satisfactory answer. How many astrophysicists does anybody know that have a talent manager and a producer and a publicist? And it has ins and connections with all of the late night talk show hosts. Does it sound like a scientist to you? Oh, well, he's just promoting love of science. No, he's promoting himself and using other people's research to stand upon.
So what you're saying is he's got a brain for television?
Yeah, the guy's fucking Monty Hall. There's an old-timey reference. Shows you I gotta start watching movies that are actually from my lifetime. It worked out for him, but it also worked out for Kim Kardashian. Does that mean I need to be happy with her fucking self-promoting ass? Literally, her self-promoting ass?
Well, I don't think we can quite at least compare the two, because Kim Kardashian's rise to fame was a sex tape. Neil deGrasse Tyson's rise to fame was most certainly not a sex tape as far as I'm aware.
No, it was relentless self-promotion. Don't you want this guy to come on who can talk some shit? He's Bill Nye. He's just an entertainer. And like Bill Nye, he should have stuck to fucking children's parties. And not talked about things that are radically outside of his field. And because I can tell you about stars, quasars, and quantum physics, that somehow entitles me to tell you, one, that, oh, your religion is bullshit. Two, you're an apostate if you don't accept my global warming theory. You're not a planetary scientist. What the fuck do you know about it? Oh, well, I'm smart. I don't care. There's lots of fucking smart people. It doesn't tell them that you have fields of expertise.
Ooh, do Al Gore next.
Am I a joke to you, Weebs?
No.
All right, I said we'd go another 5 minutes, and we've gone beyond that. So, around this time, we always say about the same things. Thank you, Evolve Potato, for posting all of our links. That is actually really greatly appreciated.
I love you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in and keeping us company. Remember to go buy Far's shit. Link, yeah, her link to her merch store is below. And remember to tweet at her and bug her to put up more merch, because she's got lots of merch ideas that are all finished. All she has to do is load them up, but she won't do it because she's an artist.
Shut up. Shut up.
That was a confirmation. I'd like to thank everybody who came and kept us company tonight. It was fucking awesome. You guys are great. I want to thank Weebo Jones, her first time here, for keeping me company at the bar. Thanks, Weebs.
I'm glad I could help.
Cool. And as always, FarZoosme. Far, thanks for keeping me company at the bar. It's always fun.
It's alright.
It's alright.
Yeehaw.
She's feeling called out, so she's getting all reticent now. I'm not an artist. It's fuck you. I definitely want to thank everybody who generously tipped the bartender. It was so greatly appreciated. You guys are awesome tonight. Allows me to keep doing the show because my research contract, although extended in terms of the length of time, is not being extended in terms of the money they're giving me. And there are no more research contracts because, well, COVID.
There's no more research.
Yeah. Well, not for the foreseeable future, at least. And although they're like, well, you're first on my list as soon as I get some new stuff. Like, translation, buy bulk ramen is what I'm hearing. Well, so it's greatly appreciated. Allows me to keep doing that. Yeah. So that it's becoming like an Uber Eats guy or something,
Oh, Polly, you know what you could do? You could do the Neil deGrasse Tyson and sell yourself to the entertainment world.
Well, actually, what I'm going to end up doing is picking up... I have an online interview because they can't have in-person interviews anymore. You know what I mean? Social distancing.
Oh, I know.
I've got 2 online interviews for remote learning courses or undergrad stuff, which will be fun. I've taught online stuff before. It gets frustrating because the majority of the time you spend is just emailing back and forth between you and students trying to get out of stuff. It's like, you realize that when you send me an email, there's a timestamp on it, right? You realize that, right? So when you tell me, oh, I'm sorry, but I will not be able to get to the deadline, and they're naming specific times, and it's way after that time. Like, I just logged in and realized that I don't have my or I tried logging in, I realized I don't have my password. This is at 6 a.m.
They use that excuse?
Yeah, the deadline was at 11:59:59. Like, meaning, like, if it was due on the 10th, you had to submit it by the 10th by 11:59:59 p.m., that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they'll email you at 6 a.m. and say, oh, I just tried logging in, I don't have my credentials. Meaning, like, you woke up and realized, holy fuck, I didn't finish that assignment and submit it. It's like, you just logged in right now. It's like you're trying to pretend that it's like 11 p.m. of the previous day, and it's like the time sense is 6 a.m. You moron. Maybe Polly could be a gigolo. I could. I can wine and dine and woo, and no, weebs. Wooing does not mean fucking.
It's a preamble to exactly that.
Yeah, that came up on Cocktail Hour last Sunday. Weebo Jones was under the impression that pitching woo meant laying long strokes. Can you believe that?
Well, okay, to be fair, wooing a woman and pitching woo do not sound the same, alright?
Your mind's in the gutter. Got it. Okay, so.
Pitching woo. What does that sound like to you,
words, and it's like, what the fuck?
Thank you for everybody who donated tonight. Thank you for everyone who donated to Weebo Jones as well. And thank you to everyone who went and bought Far's shit. Buy your shit. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you again soon. And, oh yeah, as we always say after last call, you don't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck out of here. Bye, Blue Coal.